They are not towing the party line. 4 House Democrats stepping up and opposing the president's stance on taxes and spending. Why? And can they get together enough Democrats to join them? 2 of them join us now, and that's important. Gary Peters of Michigan and Congressman Jim Himes of Connecticut. Welcome to both of you, Congressman. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, first
Great to be
off,
with you, Brian.
Congressman Peters, why did you say we got to attack the deficit and it's got to be now?
Because we've got to start taking concrete action, and that's why this group was formed, is that we're hearing a lot about deficit reduction. We've got to reduce the deficit. We agree, but we believe that you've got to start putting specific cuts on the table. And we've become frustrated with both Democratic leadership as well as Republicans that you hear all of this rhetoric and yet you do not see any specifics. So we put on the table $70 billion of cuts that we believe we can start right now to show the American people that we are serious about this, and we're going to take concrete action with specific ideas.
All right, Congressman Peters, since you did put it out there, can you run through a few of them so people at home can understand what you're going to do?
Well, they go across the board from tax expenditures to line items. One in my bill that I've introduced, for example, cuts spending on mine reclamation. Right now we've got a program where the government pays for reclaiming abandoned mines. But once those mines have already been abandoned and reclaimed, the money continues to be paid, and then it gets to be used for any other source. So that just simply doesn't make any sense.
Right.
We should cut that off once those mines are reclaimed, and that saves well over $1 billion by itself.
Congressman Himes, you guys are relatively new. How does leadership respond to your specific and your push in general?
Well, part of the reason we did this, Brian, was that we were just concerned that neither sets of leadership, neither on the Republican side nor on the Democratic side, were taking the discussion where it needs to go, which is into the world of specifics. It's awfully easy to say that you favor reducing the deficit. The hard question is how? How do you do that? And so what we've done here with $70 billion over 10 years is we've said we're willing to stand behind a bunch of cuts, some of which will not be popular. And if you disagree with them, that's fine. Come to the table and show us where else those cuts can be, or come to the table with specific proposals.
Well, can you tell us right now the website to go to see some of your specifics?
Well, we don't. We've got a working group up right now, the 4 of us, and we're inviting people in. We're inviting people, by the way, of both parties in to have this discussion. But we don't. We're not at a point yet where we've got an operative website. Nonetheless, if you go to any one of our websites, you can see the legislation that we have introduced.
Well, Congressman, thanks so much for sharing what you're doing. I know a lot of the parties pushing back, so stay strong.
We will see.
All right, Congressman
Thanks,
Peters,
Brian.
Congressman Himes, thanks so much. Meanwhile, coming up straight ahead, we forge ahead.